Hello everyone, and so the majority of people in Cavan would agree with this statement that Cavan in the last 30 years, in the last 15 years I would say too, has become a lot more dangerous. It's become a lot more dangerous in many different ways. And unfortunately it's not getting any better, it's getting worse. This is down to many factors. We'll go into a lot of the factors here now in a second. It will take a few minutes to go through each and every factor, but we will go through it here. But the main thing is that we have to speak out against it because it's not good enough. People should be safe. I remember when I was younger, and this is not too long ago, you could walk around Cavan without being afraid. We see incidents happens in Cavan town and other places. Shower cocktail was happening in Cavan. It's very bad. What's happening? In other parts of Cavan too, it's very bad. There's areas that become no-go areas, and there's areas where people are afraid to go into the town to do shopping, and that shouldn't be the case. That never was the case. And all the time I was lived in Cavan, lived all my life. There's people that are afraid to go in on a Friday to collect their pension in Cavan town, and that shouldn't be the case. And of course, the majority of these people who do these crimes, drug dealing, there's open drug dealing in some cases. There's other crimes happening too. Um, people with knives, etc. Cavan's become very dangerous. People carrying knives, etc. Shouldn't be happening. But a lot of these people, when they do get caught, they get let off or they fully suspend the sentence. Our judges in our county are useless. They're very good at prosecuting Christians and people that didn't broke the COVID rules, but they're no good in fighting real crime. But then if you misgender somebody online too, they're very good at that, the judges in our county. But when it comes to actually fighting real crime, they know what to be found. The judges, they're too afraid to do anything about it. And of course, the Gardaí in Cavan always hide in the guards' barracks in a lot of cases. But unfortunately, Cavan has become a lot dangerous, and we all know this. We can all see it. And a lot of it too is non-nationals. A lot of it is, to be honest, and some of our own. There's some of our own in Cavan that are in and out every 5 minutes out of prison, in and out on the streets causing trouble. It is the truth. There's Irish people doing it too. There's Cavan people doing it too. They shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't have some cop on for their county and for their fellow citizens. But of course, the non-nationals too. They couldn't give a damn about the country. They couldn't give a damn about the county. There's many of them. There's a lot of Romanians, particularly too, that have caused a lot of trouble in Cavan recently. And they probably shouldn't be here. They should be sent home by now. A lot of them should be home, I'll be totally honest with you. But it's not all non-nationals. I will say that, but there's a lot of it happening by non-nationals because again they'll get offered pretty much in a lot of cases. And again, there's a lot of Irish doing it too. There's no denying that there is. But Cavan has become a lot dangerous particularly when you see these incidents. And the one incident that comes to mind, and a lot of people still talk about to this day, is the man with the meat cleaver. And I know people remember this about 3 years ago. This stage that a fellow went around running around the town with a meat cleaver chasing young cows. Now, thankfully, he didn't hit anybody or kill anybody. Thankfully, Young God the Shin had gone and done their job and got the fellow. Now, unfortunately, the judge only sent him for a year and a bit to prison. He's out of prison now as we speak. But that's still another factor. That so easily people could have been killed on the streets of Cavan because of this fellow. And again, he wasn't from Cavan originally. But issues like this, very severe issues, the danger of public health, danger of members of the public too, put innocent people at risk, and that's the thing. It's simply putting innocent members of the public at risk. There's been other instances in Cavan and stuff that's happened over the years, and people are afraid, and that's to be generally honest. People are afraid. Take for example, there's another hot spot that many people will talk about if you ask from Cavan. It's to do with Cavan bus station. Now, the bus station in Cavan, there's a lot of stuff to be said about it, but it's known now as a drug spot. That a lot of people go and do drugs in the toilets, etc., in the bus hours, and of course, it should be stamped out of course, that private security too, the paid private security bus hours. But of course, the Gardaí should probably be going in with the batons and beating up people and kicking the shit out of them. To be totally honest with you, because that's the only way to put manners on these people is to use force, especially because again, a lot of children and stuff getting off buses. A lot of old people take this happen too when the buses stop off before they go to Donegal or go to Belfast. Use the toilets, the public toilets in the bus station, and it's not good enough that they're seeing people lighting joints and using drugs, etc. It's not acceptable. The Gardaí should be going in with batons and beating them out of it. Let's put it that way. The Gardaí are very good at beating old women when they're protesting and stuff, but they're nowhere to be found when there's people doing drugs, etc. There's no guard to be found to stop them from doing it. And take this happened too, there's people around, it's become nearly a hotspot of beggars, to be totally honest, because many people have reported and said it, that every day of the week there's people going around looking for money, looking for bus money, making up stories about their mother being in hospital, about this person being in hospital. You're looking for money off people at the bus station there. Like it's become the beggar spot, basically. And it's not acceptable. It isn't acceptable. It isn't acceptable because a lot of these people could buy the shop, to be totally honest, and they're only doing it for drugs and for other stuff. And for their own intents and purposes. And again, we know of one incident, just take for example, in Cavan, outside the post office there, the post office in the centre of the town, that people have, doesn't happen now, thankfully, but it was happening back 2 years ago, that there was people outside there on a Friday morning, harassing, and I wouldn't even say this, harassing old pensioners for their pension, for a few bob in their pension. To give to them, and now a lot of women felt intimidated, particularly older women in their 80s and stuff. They felt intimidated by people going looking for money outside, like as soon as they walk out of the post office, and it shouldn't be acceptable. And it was the stain on on the state and the county that the Gaudi sat in their hands for so long and done nothing about it. And they done nothing. And again, I know the Gaudis there wasn't technically because the women willingly give it over, etc. But still, at the end of the day, it shouldn't be acceptable that these women worked all their life for a pension, and then these people can come up and look for money, and they never worked a day in their life. They wouldn't work on batteries, and it's not fair because they should go and get a job, and that's what the Gaudi probably should have told them. But thankfully, it was done. It was put a stop to. Eventually, it took a long time for them to do something, but eventually something was done. And even take for example too, we talk about crimes to do with human trafficking, etc., the sex crimes, etc., in this county. There was brothels operated in this county by a lot of them by non-nationals too. But the Gaudi for years stood in their hands and done nothing about it. Now, thankfully, something has been done about it recently, but no more needs to be done in that regard. But what I'm trying to say is this: considering factor here that across all sections of Cavan, we're just talking about Cavan town, but even in Shercock and stuff, there's people there that probably shouldn't be allowed to walk the streets. To be totally honest, because they are a public nuisance in a way. And then even other parts of Cavan too, there's crimes on the rampage, particularly in rural areas too. There's a lot of burglaries. The Garda numbers in Cavan have just collapsed. There's no Gaudi at all. We have the Gaudi that are young Gaudi that are afraid to do anything to lift a finger against any of these criminals. Because we probably need the Gaudi that we used to have years ago that would not beat up old women protesting and stuff about asylum setters, etc. But we need the Gaudi to go and beat up people that are actually dangerous to the public, etc. And start teaching them a lesson. Because unfortunately years ago that did happen in the guards barracks and stuff. The Gaudi would beat the hell out of people. And it's not much loss if you cause trouble, like take for example, if you're targeting elderly people, if you're doing crimes and stuff, drugs and stuff, they probably should be taught a bit of a manners in that regard, unfortunately. And again, it's unfortunate, but again, the simple thing is if you don't want the hassle, if you don't want to get arrested, etc., don't do the crime. But unfortunately, this is not going to be solved by councillors, and we hear the councillors home every day of the week about, oh, terrible, this is terrible and stuff, oh, Jesus. But at the end of the day, they have no solution to this. And my solution is that we're very tough on these people, that we push back very hard on them. Make them do a bit of work too. Hard work never kill them. In a lot of cases, these people don't work and don't do anything for society, for anybody. So if people worked hard, and they wouldn't have the energy to commit crime after the work day. But we do need judges in this county too. And again, this goes by the judges. That if the judges were anyway decent, we wouldn't have any crime in this county. If they were tough judges, but they're not tough. When you don't pay your TV license, they're very tough. But if you do something wrong, they'll let you off with it. But this county system, the same with this country system, is fucking rotten to the core, in every possible way. But I said to the people of Cavan, we always have to call out this because people should be safe, and this is the simple fact that people should be safe in their county town, whereabouts in Cavan. Everywhere they should be safe. There's no such thing, and it should never be allowed, and should never be accepted, and will never be accepted. As long as I'm alive too, I will never accept it. That different parts of Cavan will become no go areas. We never will accept it. And said to the people of Cavan, we have to fight every day if that happens. Because that should never be accepted in this county. Never will, and never has been accepted that there will be no go areas for people that are afraid to walk the streets at night. Or afraid to even go during the day. It's not accepted. We won't tolerate it, and we should never tolerate it. And I say this, and we say this to our councils, we won't tolerate it. So we have to get tough. We have to get tough, and I say this to the councils, we have to get tough. I know they only have collective power, but even our chocolate dollars are 5 chocolate dollars. We're not going to let it go. We're not going to let our county turn into Chicago. We're not going to let our county town turn into Chicago, no matter the cost. And simple as that. And the councils and TDs should be saying that too. Zero tolerance. Simple as that. Zero tolerance on any kind of trouble, any kind of crime. Simple as that. That's the way it should be, and it should be very tough. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree, do disagree. Thank you.